In this video, we take a look at the promised Pegasus R4i MPX RAID storage module. It fits right inside the Mac Pro, giving you 32 terabytes of onboard storage. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Mac. Be sure to thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and then enable notifications with the bell icon so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Alright, so before I show you the R4i, I want to talk about this right here because this is what I currently use, the promised Pegasus 3 R6. It is an external RAID enclosure. It is amazing, tons of storage. It uses Thunderbolt 3, but as much of a rock-solid lifesaver this device has been, it does get a little bit loud, especially when it gets warm in my office. The fans can get loud, and sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes I accidentally disconnect the Thunderbolt 3 cable and take my project offline mid-edit, which is obviously a bad thing, right? But up until today, I had this connected to my Mac Pro. It worked perfectly fine. It still works perfectly fine. But there's this. This is the promised Pegasus R4i 32 terabyte RAID MPX module, and we have it here in hand. Yes, indeed, this is an internal PCIe RAID storage system that's exclusive for the Mac Pro. And it's exclusive because it comes in the MPX form factor, the same form factor that the default graphics card inside your Mac Pro comes with. So inside the box, you just have this. There's no power cables, there's no Thunderbolt 3 cables because everything is powered via the PCIe connector and the MPX connector. So this slides right into your Mac Pro. It is a completely clean installation. There's no auxiliary power cables. Everything just looks super clean. So this unit houses 4 drives, hence the name R4i, the I for internal. And you can see this is how they are oriented. So 2 drives on one side, 2 drives on the other side. Let's go ahead and peel the little protective cover off. Just slide that off like that. There we go. All right, so here it is, the promised R4i. You can see the 2 bays on each side. You see the little locking mechanism to lock down the bays. And the cool thing is, just like the standalone external Pegasus, you can swap out these drives if a drive happens to go bad, which it probably won't, but if it happens to, you can swap it out. So here is one of the drive bays removed from the R4i. You can see it's pretty simple design. Now here's the R4i with all the drives gone, and actually it's a really lightweight device. You can see right here, the brunt of the weight comes from those 3.5-inch mechanical hard drives. And you can see the little bay connectors there. Here are the little locks. You can see how you lock and unlock those drives. Here are the slot covers, and there's no I/O because there's nothing to interface with. And you can see the opposite side of the drive. See the screws? You can just unscrew those screws, pop out the drive if you need to replace it, reinsert the drive, and you're good to go. Super simple, super easy. All right, so let's go ahead and just slide this module back into the R4i. You see the little rail system, it just guides it along the rail, and you push it into place, and you're good to go. And I have to say, I love these MPX modules. They provide such a clean look. Love the fact that they are fully powered by the logic board itself. What do you guys think? Do you like the look of this thing? Let me know down below in the comment section. So here you can see the R4i houses 4 8 terabyte Toshiba drives, 7200 RPM. And by default, they come configured with RAID 5 enabled. So parity is distributed across all the disks. So if one disk happens to fail, you can replace that disk and not lose any of your data. It's not going to be as fast as a RAID 0 configuration, but it's going to be much more secure as far as your data is concerned, just in case a drive happens to go bad. So all you need to do is line up the little notches on the left side of the chassis, slide it into place, press it in, it locks into place, connects to the MPX and PCIe connections, and that's it, folks, you're good to go. So you can lock or unlock the drive bays, remove a drive, replace a drive, add it back here, just like that. Just press into place, lock it down, and you're good to go. And that, folks, is the beauty of MPX. You simply insert the R4i into one of the 2 available MPX slots, and you're done. That's it. Now it's just a matter of putting the aluminum housing back on your Mac Pro and booting it up. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Now, one thing I will say is that the R4i with those 4 drives weighs like 10 pounds. So add that to the already heavy Mac Pro. And yeah, those wheels, those $400 wheels are starting to look really good right now. All right, so we booted up, we've installed the Promise utility. Initially, it will have to go through a synchronization process, and this will take several hours, and that's going to impact performance just a little bit until that's done. But even with that running, that RAID 5 configuration with those 4 7200 RPM drives performs pretty well. Promise says that you should get up to 680 megabytes per second, and that's pretty much what I saw. I'll show you some tests here in just a second. But now let's talk about my primary concern, and that is noise. How noisy is this thing? Because that was one of my main complaints about the standalone direct attached storage solution. So let's listen. So you can hear the drives doing their thing, but because there's no fans, there's no fan noise, which was my main complaint about the external solution. I have to say I'm really happy with it. So here's a read and write test here. You can see 852 megabytes per second, write, and about 500 or so megabytes per second read. Here's the Blackmagic disk speed test. You're going to see similar results. So this thing, I mean, you get the comfort of having RAID 5, at least the comfort of knowing that you, if a drive fails, you'll be okay. But not only that, you get pretty good performance as well. And that's going to work perfectly fine for 4K workflows. It's going to be more than enough for 4K workflows. You can even go higher than that and be perfectly fine. Now here's me in Final Cut Pro 10 working with a 4K timeline here, and I'm just scrubbing through this timeline. And you can see as soon as I click in, it starts playing immediately. There's little to no delay at all here. And as you saw, I was able to scrub through, and I can use JKL shortcuts, and there's no delay there either. Now here is an 8K timeline. I have basically the same video duplicated 4 times over, and I'm scrubbing through there with no issue. So my take from this, for $2,300, not cheap, but the drives themselves cost about $1,400 to $1,500. And then you have that wonderful MPX form factor, which allows you just to plug and play. There's no fans. It uses the Mac Pro's thermal system to keep cool. And while it's not dead silent, you will hear the drives chattering as you do read and writes. It's significantly quieter and arguably much more convenient than an external solution. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments section. This is Jeff with 9 to 5 Mac.